Now these are Phoenicians. You know, these are not tiki dolls. You know, from Hawaii. These are the Phoenicians, the Canaanites.
The Canaanites.
They all got your hats on.
Like them fezzes.
So here, we were talking about this, me and Raymond earlier. You can see the progression of the alphabet.
There you go.
It goes from, okay, in this case they have what's called Proto-Canaanite, early Phoenician, and then Greek. See, the Phoenicians took the alphabet from Kemet and modified it because they were mariners. You know, you couldn't be writing all those pictures of birds and animals and stuff. You're trying to write down how many stuff that come on your ship. So they developed a different script, and they gave it to the Greeks, which, okay, we can't do without now in our universities. Alpha, Kappa, you know, Omega, you know, but this is actually where it comes from. So.
Okay, I have a problem with it being Greek. You know, and it has such African roots.
Yeah.
Well, African first already.
One day, Bobby.
We should have Egyptian letter organization or something like that.
Yeah.
One day, Bobby, the NAACP will change its name, and the Greek organizations will change their name. They'll catch up to the time. You know, we're just a little ahead of them.
Yeah, just a little.
You know. So here, this is out of Anthony Browder's book, and he shows the progression of the alphabet: Kemetic, Semitic. I don't even like that word.
Right.
But okay, those are the Canaanites, the so-called Semites, which I showed you what the Semites look like. And here, Phoenicians, Greek, and the Roman.
What book is that in?
This is his Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization.
I got
Yeah, this is here. This is in the book. Here, this is the tree of life among the Assyrian. Here, those see the same people.
Like that hat.
I have a hat like that. I don't know. I think I'm gonna start with it. Okay, and here's another. You know how the so-called alphabet. You know. So when you say I am the Alpha and the Omega, we actually showed them what that was. The Alpha and the Omega. All right, and now I found this and I had to include, these are Hebrew singers. With lots.
SINGERs?
Singers.
Singers.
So before the Wailers, before reggae was introduced by who was that? Toots Hibbert, who came up with the song "Do the Reggae," and it became it turned into a genre. Here you have in the ancient times, 600, 700 BC, the players of instruments looking like that.
The story before the story.
The story before the story, and this is Hannibal. Again, somebody had posted this, and so I had to copy it. This one here, if I can enlarge it, this one here is Persian.
Wow.
Persian. This one is Persian. You know, but when they showed the Persian, they showed this movie 300. They had this like Dennis Rodman looking person, you know. But now
He's Asiatic.
here, this is King Darius of Persia, and this again the Hebrew prisoners. Okay. I think that's it for that, so I'm going to turn the light off. Okay, we're here in this small room giving truth. And I'm hoping that it reaches outside this room. There are people that's doing this actually much better at it, that this is their life vocation, this is all they do. His father, who was a general, that he, undying, you know, that we're gonna get these Romans. you know, because they're trying to take over the Mediterranean from us. Do you realize that the island of Sicily was part of the Carthaginian civilization? The island of Corsica. How is it pronounced? Corsica. Corsica. Yeah. However, I don't speak it. They, those were part of the Carthaginian civilization. You know, Spain, parts of Spain, was part of it. So they ruled the Mediterranean. But there's ebbs and flows, and so sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. So they were fighting the Romans, and so what Hannibal did, he did something that nobody else did. He had like 100,000 men, and he had like 300 elephants, and they went up through Spain, in through the Alps, and then stood at the gates of Rome for 13 years, terrorized Rome. And what Rome did, I'm giving you the short version, what Rome did, they said, okay, Hannibal's here fighting us. We'll go to his place. So Hannibal had to leave his army there in Rome. He couldn't go through Rome, and they weren't going to go back across the Alps again. They lost a lot of people. They lost like 20,000 people.
And elephants too,
They lost some elephants. You know, it was bad. Okay.
It was African elephants, they didn't like cold.
You know, but they found a way to get around that. I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, if you study his tactics, the things that he did, you know, but okay, when you read about him, he was a brilliant man, a man of letters. He wrote books. You know, he wrote in Greek, which was kind of frowned upon at the time. You know, but he got all this education. So they're fighting in Rome. The Roman council decides, okay, let's just go to Carthage. So Hannibal has to leave his army there. So he gets back home. But they're depending on him. They're like, you know, you ever watch those of you the
Basketball.
NBA?
They watch my
You know, like when the doctor would be playing. I mean, even the opposite team, they would,
Right, yeah.
you know, he'd get the ball, they'd be like, I wonder what he's gonna do next.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes he'd get up there, you know, and there's nobody to pass it to, because everybody's looking at him. You know,
They stop playing, they become
you
famous.
know, now Steph Curry doesn't have that, because they actually play,
Yeah.
all of them play like a team. You know, so if he's off tonight, you know, Thompson will pick up, or Iguodala, or somebody like that. He has somebody to pass to. Hannibal got in. He had to whip people into shape.
Right.
He had to get people together. They were fat, dumb, and happy. You know, living off of his military prowess. You know, so while he's fighting Rome can't attack Carthage. But so they sent their army. He goes back, and he whips them in the shape, and they almost win. They almost win, but they're defeated. And so Hannibal ends up being the head of this of the state. And so they had put this heavy sum that they had to pay back to Rome, but because they were brilliant. See, this is something that we're not told. They were brilliant militarists, but they were also brilliant economists. You know, they had the resources, they knew what to do. And so they were close to paying off the debt. And this frightened Rome. And so then they said, no, you guys have to turn Hannibal over to us. You know, and so then they came back again, and he lost at this battle. It's called the Battle of Zema. And instead of being captured, he took a poison pill. He wasn't gonna let him have it like that. So he committed suicide. But the tragedy for me, sisters and brothers, in that story is that his neighboring countries didn't fight with them. They fought with the Romans. They thought they could get a better deal with the Romans. And many of us are like that today.
Mm-hmm.
If we would just show unity today, we could overcome a lot of things. But because we're all scattered all over the place, and this person said, well, they don't like me because, see, I'm African, and this person is a Greek. You know, I'm African. You know, I practice Mott, or I practice Ifa, or I practice, and this person is a Christian, or even in Christian, this person's a Catholic, so I can't get along with them. They're a Baptist. This person's a Baptist. I can't get along with them because I'm a holiness. And you know, we do all this division.
Mm-hmm.
We do all this division, and the conquerors just come in. So they joined Rome. Carthage is defeated, and what did Rome do? Conquer them.
Right.
And this is what's happening on the African continent right now. Right now. So I talked about this. I introduced this thing not to just show you that I see your hand, Bobby. Let me finish this point. Not to just show you the greatness, the historical references to the Canaanites and the Phoenicians and the language and all of that. But the basic thing that I'm trying to say this morning is we need unity.
Absolutely.
We need unity. The pressed heads need to get with Jerry curls, need to get with red.
The bald heads.
Bald heads.
Yeah.
You know, we need to, you know, some people are not dark enough. Some people are not light enough. You know, we need to forget all that and have unity.
The corporate.
What does it say? To strive to maintain unity
Emotion.
in the family, community, nation,
and
race.
race. Emotion.
unity. So that's the story. That Hannibal was a great general. I want you to remember that. I want you to know that. But what defeated Hannibal
His own people.
was us. We didn't have it together. We depended on one person. We wasn't getting ourselves together like the brother that was doing the push-ups. You know, he didn't know he was going to get hit by a car. But good thing he was doing those 1,100 push-ups a week. Yeah. Okay. Bobby had her hand up. I'm sorry. And then.
Well, I wanted you to mention the age of Hannibal. He was quite a young man.
Yes, he was 25 now.
Because you
He
forget
was-
how young they were.
He was 25 when he became the general.
Yeah, I really
He was
young.
25. I'm not sure how old he was when he died, but I know that he was 25 when he.
I was thinking he was 19
Raymond.
for some reason.
Oh, I was just gonna say that there's an African proverb that if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside cannot defeat you.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true, Alicia.
I like that when you were talking about that, I was thinking, like when you're in a family, like my kids, they can argue amongst themselves, but when it comes to outsiders coming in to try to, argue with them, then it's like you come together at that point, and you're like, no, that's not happening. And if that would have happened, then even if I have an argument with these people over here, we have an argument with those people over there, but we're in one community, and if we understand that part of the unity, I can disagree with you all I want to, but we know if somebody else is trying to come into our neighborhood, if someone else is trying to come into our territory, we're not going to side with the other people. We need to side with ourselves for our best interest.
Absolutely.
That's basically you have.